Hi, it's Lori Neverman from Common Sense Home, and it's my son Duncan who's going to be helping me out. Today we're going to be bottling some pear wine that we made up last fall. It's been in the larger fermenter here, and we're going to put it into its final bottles. Now, if you have friends who are winos, you can get them to save their bottles for you. Just make sure you wash everything really well before you fill. There are special cleaners that you can get for wine bottles, or you can just, scrub as good as you were able. For corking, we're going to use a manual corker, and this is a lever corker that locks on the top and presses the cork down in. I have my corks soaking here. I'm going to grab these and hold them up. Now they will float in water because of course they're corks, and it's recommended that you soak them so they slide into the top of the bottles easier. So to keep them underneath the water, I've got them pinned down with a glass bowl inside another glass bowl, holding them underneath the water so they stay wet. But first, before we put the corks in place, we got to fill the bottles. So we take off our airlock. Ease this out of here. Boozy. All right, and Dunk, there are fancy ways you can do this with little pump siphons and things like this, but this is what my mom used. It's cheap, it's easy. You want a siphon hose, and smaller diameter hoses are better. I think this is about 1/4 inch, and with the large volume hoses, what happens is you end up pulling the suction. You'll get too much flow, and you'll end up with wine spraying everywhere, baptizing everyone involved. So Dunk is going to slowly lower this in as I get this vacuum going, and he's going to want to keep that above the sediment that settles in the bottom of the jug. So we're going to want to pull off the top, and I'm going to do my best here to carefully establish a good flow with suction and get this feeding into the bottles. Here we go. Ready? Aim. Zen moment, right? No pressure. I get to sample the wine, and we feed that into the top of the bottle. This is for home use only. Obviously, you would not do this with a commercial setup, but alcohol does sterilize. Oh, and you want to make sure to keep your bottle below your reservoir that you are pulling from. And we set this aside. Oop, that was a little bit fuller. When you fill these, you want to fill them to right about here so that you have plenty of room in the cork for the cork on the top. So I actually got a little bit over, but it's a little bit tricky to juggle. And I'm keeping this down here. If you raise your bottle that you're filling too high, you'll lose your siphon. So it's really helpful to have someone to watch that end of it while you watch this end of it to try and get everything lining up just right. I remember my mom and my sister working on bottling dandelion wine when I was younger, and they'd be laughing and there'd be wine going everywhere. And of course that was a part of the whole challenge of home brewing. I still remember Mom giggling. She used to love working in the kitchen. Always. And there. And you get a rhythm going, it goes pretty quick. We're getting near the bottom here. I don't know how much we'll have exactly if it doesn't all fit. Like if you end up with a partial bottle, for instance, you're just going to want to drink that. You don't want to cork a partial bottle because you want to have a very minimal air gap between the top of your wine and your cork. And we're almost there. We'll see how this goes. We're getting some air bubbles. Are we gonna make it, Doc? Are we gonna get the 5th bottle or not? All right, lift it up. Boom, 5 bottles. All right. And we got that. And let me see here, gonna even these out just a little bit. Look, look. There. And now to cork these, I'm gonna set these aside so we can get a clear shot of what goes on with the cork. Like I said, I had these corks soaking. You can get these 10 packs, 25 packs. They're 1 3/4 inch long corks, and they're readily available online or at your local homebrew place. And then we seat that on top of the bottle. Line up our cork. These have little pictures of grapes on them, so we put the grapes upright, line up, then lock down around the neck, and slide it into place. And that is it. We have a bottle of wine and with a nicely seated cork. And I'm gonna make up custom labels on the computer with the contents and the date. And then I'll store this on its side down in the root cellar to enjoy in about a year. And that's all there is to it. Thank you so much for watching.